I have not read your book, but I did you the courtesy of reading your opening statement, and I want to have some conversation with you about it. In your opening statement, your written statement, you make the observation that it was your analysis, 2001, 2002 rather, that the anti-torture statute passed by Congress in the 1990s, the interpretation of that statute would depend, as you put it, quote, not just on the particular interrogation method, but on the subject's mental and physical condition. I interpret your observations as meaning that the test of torture is in part a subjective standard, that one has to do an inquiry into what you describe as the subject's physical and mental condition. Now, in response to Chairman Conyers' questions, you said that that interpretation did not come from legislative history because there was very little. You said it did not come from reviewing judicial opinions because there were none. And your phrase today was that there was very little or there was no congressional guidance, One good source of congressional guidance, members of Congress. So I would ask you if you or in your knowledge, anyone else in the administration consulted, for example, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Mr. Sensenbrenner at that time, a Republican, about the meaning of the anti-torture statute.
Mr. Davis, thanks for the...
That's a simple question. Was Mr. Sensenbrenner consulted?
First, I just want to correct one thing I said that you quoted, just to be clear. There are judicial opinions on a related statute called the Torture
Right. I understand that. Was Mr. Sensenbrenner consulted?
I would not know one way or the other.
Mr. Addington, do you know if Mr. Sensenbrenner was consulted? That's a simple was he or wasn't he?
Yeah, I did not consult him, and I do not know whether anyone else did or did not.
The chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I believe, was Mr. Specter, a Republican. Do either of you know if Mr. Specter was consulted regarding the meaning of the anti-torture statute?
I did not consult him. I don't know whether he was or wasn't.
Mr. Yu, do you happen to know?
It's relevant to the legal interpretation.
Mr. Yu, do you happen to know if Chairman Specter was consulted?
I don't know one way or the other.
And there's a process that's been alluded to today of consulting with members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees regarding certain matters that, frankly, we wouldn't want disclosed in open forum. Mr. Yu, did you or anyone else in the administration consult members of the House or Senate Intelligence Committees regarding Congress's intent regarding the anti-torture statute?
All I know is what I've read in the newspaper.
That is a simple were they or were they not consulted? Do you know if they were?
Again, all I know is what I've read in the papers about it.
To your knowledge, were they or were they not consulted, Mr. Yu?
You mean to my knowledge?
Yes. To your knowledge, they were not, were they?
I don't know.
Mr. Addington, to your knowledge, were any members of the House or Senate Intelligence Committee consulted regarding the question of Congress's intent regarding the anti-torture statute?
There's no reason their opinion on that would be relevant.
Is that a no?
I did not consult them, and I do not know whether...
Now, let me thank you all for answering those questions without too much struggle. One of the interesting things here today, Mr. Yu and Mr. Addington, is that, frankly, we've heard this word context over and over again. And I've heard both of you say, I've heard my colleagues and my friends on the side of the aisle say, you got to remember the context. We had been threatened, we'd been attacked, there was a possibility of follow-up attacks. All of that's accurate. But let me tell you the rest of the context. You had a Congress that was a rubber stamp for the administration's entire security agenda. You had chairmen of the House and Senate Judiciary Committees who were strongly supportive of your agenda. You came to Congress and asked for the Patriot Act, and you got it easily. You came to Congress and asked for an authorization of force resolution, and you got it easily. You got bipartisan support for both of them. The 107th, 108th, 109th Congresses, there was not a single time the Bush administration was rebuffed on any issue related to national security. You got an expansion of FISA that met your interests. You got a Military Tribunal Commissions Act that met your interests. We wouldn't be here today, gentlemen, if you had come to this Congress and you had said one of two things. Either give us a stronger, clearer definition of what torture means, or if you'd even gone to congressional leadership and said, you're a source of guidance on what Congress meant. Tell us, Chairman Sensenbrenner, you there? Chairman Specter, you there? The problem, Mr. Addington, I'll direct my last observation to you because I still serve with this administration. When you've got a Congress that's a rubber stamp for what you want, you ought not be disrespectful of the legislative branch of government. If you had come to this Congress, everyone in this room knows to an absolute certainty they would have given you anything you asked for in October 2001. If you had said, give me a definition that fits, if Mr. Yu had written the statute, if he had said, give us a torture statute that makes torture a subjective condition depending on the person's mental or physical state, you could have gotten that. You didn't even trust people who were rubber stamps for you. And I'll yield back the balance of my time.
I thank the gentleman. I now